There you go.
I heard it.
Yes.
I heard it.
Yes. Welcome to Issues with Andy.
We're killing it here in America. We're doing great. I'm great. America's great. Everything's wonderful.
America might be going down the tubes, but that beer tastes really fucking good.
I thought you were doing red wine at night.
I was, but I have to give it too much sugar, so I'm back to the highest quality beer. L'été, it's French.
Going with a nice
Oh,
selection from
this millennial beer.
yeah. Well, this is the brewery that's by the beach where I slept.
What?
So the Pelican Bay or Pelican Pub or whatever the fuck it is. I don't know. It's down in Pacific Beach. It's a place where it's where I slept out in front of it.
If other people were going to comment about that day, they might not remember it quite the same way.
If people were having dinner and I was jacking off in front of the restaurant, they'd remember that. But I let the restaurant bar close. People go home. The pirates start a fire. They wander away. I wander in. Yeah.
I don't see anything problematic at all.
No, this sounds pretty normal.
No, it's starting to take off. I got my first hornet stings of the season. I've been trying to kill them, and it hasn't been going well. And you get up too late, and they're already out. And I was killing a lot of them, just like spraying them with bug spray while they come into the nest. And then I got lit up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where is their little home, their nest?
They go in the ground, and there's one under the neighbor's deck that's just like in ferns and shit. I've dropped like dish soap and all kinds of shit down there, and it's just nothing. They just they're like, it's like L.A. and San Francisco, I call them. There's two hot spots of hornets, and I can't fucking get rid of them. I just had them all covered with tarps and shit for like 3 days, thinking I'll break them, and then I pulled the tarp, and it's a fucking swarm out there.
Yeah,
they don't give a shit. They just want to get some water and sting me.
Yep. All you did was shut down their economy, and for what? No reason. As soon as you lifted the quarantine, they fucking went at it.
Right back to yeah.
It is what it is.
Yeah, that's what I put out some. I put out ant traps, and I was watching those, and they just when you put down a fresh ant trap, they fill up with ants. And I was looking at them going, man, they're all going to die. It was like watching a Tucson video of a bar opening or something. Oh, shit, they're all in there like that.
Yeah. It's a pool party at the Ozarks.
Yep. Yeah, well, I can't wait for this Sturgis spike to hit. I'm old-fashioned. I like a good old Sturgis spike. I like a bit of heroin in the arm. That's what I consider a Sturgis spike. You get a little heroin, and then you go look for some crack. And that's how you do it in Sturgis. I don't know. Have you been there? You've been there, haven't you, Erickson?
I've been to Sturgis a number of times, but never during the bike rally. Yeah. Sturgis, I did a show in Spearfish, which is just down the road. And that was when I learned a valuable comedy lesson, and that is never touch the audience. Because I was doing a show, and this guy was talking a lot, and I was wandering away from the microphone and just talking, and he was talking at his table, and it's went on for a long time, and he was one of those hecklers who was drunk and thought he was helping. So I wasn't really mad at him or anything. He was having fun, but he was being really loud and completely unaware of how loud his own voice was. So as I brought up something, then he just turned and started talking at his table really loud. So I was already on the floor in the audience, and I just kind of snuck over to him and got behind him. and I put my hands on his shoulders, and I whispered into his ear, but I didn't whisper it, but I pretend whispered it so everyone could hear it. I was like, "There's a comedian on stage right now. They're doing a show," and this fucking dude was triggered. He fucking grabbed a beer bottle and spun and chucked it at me, and I ducked, and it flew over my head, and it hit the wall, and it broke on the wall. And then security came in and grabbed him, and he was fucking flailing about, and I was freaking out, and everybody thought it was great. They thought it was great. Everyone's like, "That's just crazy Larry. Don't worry about him.
Plant. This guy goes everywhere. This guy goes."
But I was like, no, that was my fault. That's fucking lesson learned, young comedian. Yeah. Stay on the stage. Always keep a mic stand's worth of distance between you and the fucking audience. I deserved everything I got that night.
Well, politeness isn't really against, like, being impolite isn't against the law, but you touching him when he got his uncle lawyer would be you assaulted him.
It would certainly. Well, and if I know anything about rednecks, and I do, oh shit,
you're still there.
Am I here?
Yeah, you're still there.
If I know anything about rednecks who are out drunk helping the comedy show, any reason to throw a beer bottle at somebody is just basically the only thing on the radar. Like, why? How can I get away with this?
Yeah. Like the waitress comes up and she's like, "Are you finished with this?" No. I'll be throwing this in a minute. Just leave it here. Don't worry about it.
There's a very thin line between, am I gonna have chicken wings or am I gonna throw this bottle of Bud Light at the fucking stage?
I did a show. I'm pretty sure it was with Stanhope in San Francisco, and there was I forget the place, but there a punchline, and there was a lady who was up at one of the front tables, and she'd leaned her too close to the candle with her hair.
And you could, this story
you could smell it right away. Like it just started fucking stinking. And then I saw what was going on, and she started to panic, and I had this setup in my hand, and like, you know, I'm an empathetic guy, so I immediately thought I should throw the beer on her hair.
Yeah.
But I just didn't do anything, and she got up and fucking rushed to the bathroom. And then after the show was over, they were talking to the manager, and I was just like being a smart ass and going, "Oh, I get it. You burn your hair and you think you get free tickets." And and that's exactly what was going on. They were like,
"Of course,
how could you have an open flame there? And I put all this time into my hair, and now it's completely ruined."
Coating it with layer and layer of Aquanet.
She's got a case.
Yeah.
She's got a case. You can't. You shouldn't be having open. It's just a bad idea anyway. Don't have fires at the table at any kind of bar.
I once saw my son brought his prom date, who was a fucking douchebag chick, and got way drunk before the prom, and I didn't like her, and she tried to do a bong hit and lit her whole fucking hair sprayed bangs. Well, it was pretty funny.
Oh, memories.
One of the here's a story related story that the guy, this one's just for the guy. I don't read comments on YouTube anymore because of that guy, but here's one for the guy that thinks I'm a racist. We once went to a party and we lit an Indian on fire, and it turned out real bad for us. We'd go to these hill parties when I was a kid and stack up pallets, and usually you just have like a can of gas or something and you dump it on it and start it. Well, the guy had an antifreeze jug full of gas, and he was dumping it on the fire, and then somebody lit the fire, and the fire chased the antifreeze jug back to his hand, and he set it down violently, and it splashed on him. So he's running around and pulling his shirt off because he's on fire. And meanwhile, the antifreeze jug was still laying there, glugging out and on fire. And my friend decided it'd be a good idea to kick it into the middle of the fire. But he gave it a little too much oomph and kicked it over the fire. And it hit a guy on the other side.
It's
this Indian guy on fire. We lived right next where I grew up was right next to the Apache Indian reservation. So a lot of the people we hung out with were Apache Indian guys, and this happened to be a group of guys that
you literally couldn't kick fire without hitting an Indian out there.
It might be called a hate crime now, but I was there, and it was 100% an accident. Although these guys would cruise around town, and they had these guys that were like fucking 300-pound guys, and they would sit in the back of the truck, 2 of them, and it looked like a lowrider. And they'd cruise around town every weekend. That's what all of us did in a small town. I don't know if you guys did that in your small town, just cruise around town.
Oh, fuck
but we had to avoid them for a long time because those big, gigantic guys wanted to beat the fuck out of us over an accident.
Kind of on the warpath about it or something.
Hey!
Like, come on, guys. Hey.
Smoke a peace pipe, Cochise.
Oh, man.
Some Slim Fast and get that paint off your face. Relax.
Oh, man.
I had fun with those.
Listen.
Oh, go ahead.
Listen, Walks with Limp, we don't have a problem with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Indians you remember the Indians from the desert party? I doubt they'll I doubt they're still around, but I don't. Brothers,
they're not. I'm sure that they're
not.
Oh
no, one of them had cancer.
Yeah, well, even so, the people we met at the first desert parties were not there's nobody you met there in 2002 or whatever the fuck it was.
17 years ago. 18 years ago.
That was going to be anywhere again 20 years later. You know what I mean? Like, these were not the settle down and put down roots kind of people. These were like nomadic, on the hiding.
There's been a lot of turnover in Darwin, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, that's a lot of listings. Yeah, my grandma spent some time. I think people are like, you either fucking lose your mind and go to Death Valley, or you're in Death Valley and you lose your mind. My grandma was in the mix there. It's like, you start digging and you find bottles and antique bottles and shit, and then you just fucking go, that's what she did. She became like fucking obsessed with fucking trinkets.
Yeah.
Like tchotchkes, like Hummels and...
like antique shit, digging up, like people throw away their shit in Death Valley, and then, the sand covers it. And then,
there's gold out there. There's gold.
Digs it up and thinks they're fucking rich.
Mm-hmm.
She got drunk a lot and shit her pants and dug up some broken glass. Life couldn't have gotten much better. Her and Larry were both.
Broken glass was going to somehow be a marketable item.
Well, she was going to take it and shape it into a marijuana leaf and then sell it at a craft.
She had a buyer.
It's a family tradition.
There's a callback for you.
She married my grandpa at the time when she showed up on the scene was Larry, a different Larry. And this Larry was a little fucking Scotsman, and he was a fucking angry little drunk. Ooh. And he didn't really like kids. I didn't hang out with him much, but he didn't really like me at all. He never really did. And then one time I saw him, and he had like Alzheimer's or dementia, and he thought I was somebody else, and he was offering to give me stuff, and I took some of it, but he thought I was somebody completely different. Like, somebody.
Isn't it quite a relief, like when you're introduced to an older man and he doesn't like you?
Shaylee, I was just thinking the same thing. That's fucking great.
Yeah. Well, pressure's off there.
Yeah. Wait, this guy doesn't want me to hang out with him?
Yes. Yeah. Also, because there's not that many times in your life when you're looking to increase the number of really old guy friends you have. You know what I mean? Like, if you've even got one, you've got enough. You're just like, oh, I need another crotchety old prick to fucking be friends with. I already am a crotchety old prick.
My mom didn't have to tell me to not show off in front of Grandpa Larry too many times. Like, this guy ain't getting my whole routine at all.
All my material is not working.
He didn't give me more money than the job deserved, and then work me over with massages and tickling. He underpaid for everything.
Finally.
Yeah.
Cheers to Grandpa Larry. Fucking what a solid guy, man.
Yeah. Yeah, he was totally into my grandma, and that was it. And drinking. He liked the drinking quite a bit. Yeah, no, they had it. He carved out a kind of life that I want to emulate, someday.
Finally, a father figure or a male figure that has something that you can aspire to.
Really, the only time he talked to me, he had a stroke and he was in the nursing home, and my grandma was like, "Do you know who this is?" And he goes, "Bleh." And then she goes, "Who is this?" And he goes, "Blandy, Blandy, Blandy." He said it like 4 or 5 times. So that was it. That was like more than he said stuff to my parents, and then my parents would tell me to calm down or knock it off or whatever. But he didn't really address the kids. But when he'd had his stroke, he was real. He was, he pegged my name. He put a B in it, and an L, Blandy. But still,
Blandy
sounds kind of like a review.
It was kind of. Yeah, it was one of the last.
Wasn't it that one show at the San Francisco Punchline?
This kid's not showing off at all. He's more like a Blandy, if you ask me.
Yeah. Cut to me driving his old 74 pickup truck and getting airborne in the old Dodge. Blandy. Fuck you.
He didn't know you as Blowjob Andy from the vet center, did he? Just a mistake. Blandy.
Blandy. I don't know. He was little fucking dude. He was like I think he was like a little man who got mad at kids because they were about the same height and they didn't like him either.
Like a Napoleon complex. He had a kind of a chip on his shoulder because he was a small feller.
Yeah,
it may be a small sample size, but every Scotsman I know is a small, angry drinker who hates children. So it might just be a ethnic trait.
Yeah, that's how they raise them.
I'm going to throw in my sample size too, and I'd say that's 100% accurate.
So I got a question about your grandmother. Is this the same grandma that got clawed by the lion at the mall or the tiger?
Yeah. When she first showed up on the scene, she'd moved out of Death Valley with Larry, and then they just that's when I first got to know
so
her.
Death Valley was before the tiger.
Yeah. Larry went into the nursing home, and he eventually he gave up his soul and all his gold teeth. My grandma got his gold teeth and then had somebody melt them down, and she wore it. Like, I don't think she really liked him that much, but she had a ball of teeth hanging. I don't know who ended. I'll bet the other Larry ended up with that.
I like when we get the title of the episode out of the way early.
Right. Well, I mean, we got it's a ball of teeth and the Ballad of Blandy.
Yeah.
Ball of teeth.
She wore it like a necklace, like a pendant.
Yeah. And Larry wasn't like a G or anything. He just had a lot of gold teeth. It wasn't a grill or anything.
I'm picturing like roots and stuff sticking out of this gold ball. There's still teeth in it in my mind. It's not. They didn't remove the gold from the teeth.
I think they melt the teeth out of the gold. Whereas before they melt the teeth, the gold into
not in my mind.
Andy, teeth don't melt. They melt the gold out of the teeth.
Yeah. I wasn't there. Pretty much, I said my goodbyes when he said Blandy a bunch and then appeared to have shit himself. Well, it smelled like it.
Blandy out.
Yeah. I was just kind of going in there, and then it was turned into more trivia. I like that. Like, people do that all the time with people who have dementia and shit.
Yeah.
Do you remember? It's the last time you should try to do Trivial Pursuit. It's like, do you remember going camping, Mama? No. Well, do you remember that this is? No. Like, shit.
Your life hell.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like I always just go that when I went to see my mom with dementia, I just went with whatever fantasy she was in.
That's the way to do it. That is the way to do it. I've known other people who have been in that situation, and it's like you just dive in. If you're hanging out with Frank Sinatra at the Sands, you're hanging out with Frank Sinatra at the Sands. And the best part is you get to do it again tomorrow night. So Frank's doing shows every night.
Yeah.
Yeah. When my mom thought there was a cat underneath her floorboards in the nursing home, I went out and looked for a cat.
Great.
You're a good
I think people like us who regularly do drugs it's probably easier for us to accept that sort of plan of attack with dementia, because it's always the people who are constantly badgering someone with questions are the kind of people who can't stand it when any sort of altered reality is happening, and they have to constantly remind you, and they're usually miserable, and they're constantly reminding you how miserable they are and how miserable everything is around them. And if fucking grandpa thinks he's on an island somewhere, you can't have that.
Jumping 6 buses.
You can't have that. No, you can't have that. You just got to be back in Peoria with the rest of us miserable fuckers.
That's right. Well, who's gonna huck logic at their friend on an acid fucking trip, right? Whatever, dude. Yeah.
I've never been to World War II. I wasn't there. But I've been in a room with a guy who thought he was in World War II, and I was like, fuck.
That's way better. That's superior than being in World War II, Andy.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck yeah, I can go eat lunch elsewhere. Well, Vetty, he's got his tray in his room, and he ain't going anywhere, but he's fucking fighting the krauts in his room, and I'm down with it. Shit,
And if he asks you for anything from the vending machine, you can say, "Sorry, Larry, that's a bridge too far. That's a vending machine too far."
Yep. Well,
I've been trying to work that joke in constantly.
I don't think I've mentioned this before.
There's another 69
I was yeah.
Come on.
We can edit some of this. We can cut that.
Yeah,
69.
I agree.
Hey,
69
this is the first draft.
Now.
This is the first draft, all right? Sometimes you have to punch stuff up, but you got to say it out there.
Sometimes jokes just flow, and sometimes they're wobbly and fall down behind a dumpster, and you just have to go force yourself on them.
Yeah, we can Brock Turner this joke back to life.
Yeah, send it off to Jeffrey Epstein Island. That joke will be fine in 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I hope I don't ever get old. That's the I don't have to hope. I just know I won't. I have comfort knowing that I will never get old.
I just bought 2 different sizes of magnifying glasses today, so I could read the fucking instructions on a container of caulking.
Old is getting old, and I understand that, but I'm talking about old. Like my grandparents are both in their mid 80s, and they're like I don't all their friends are dead, and they're still out doing things, and I'm like, man, I don't.
Yeah, I'm with them. I want to be old. I don't care. I'm going to try to be as old as I can.
Well,
I don't want to die. I want to be like 110.
Here's where I am on it.
They hate it, and I think they're doing all this stuff to kill them because they don't want to.
They're following Andy across the street.
Here's what I'm doing, and I guess
inside
I don't know. I don't have a big amount in retirement fund. So, my options are limited that way. But I do have my ladder set on its highest setting it'll possibly go to an awkward peak on my house, which I'm not even sure how it's going to work. And I got a spray gun that keeps the electrical cord keeps hanging up, but I'm going to get all the way up on that thing. And I notice there's hornets up there too.
Oh,
so I may live to be 106, but there's not likely, I looked at it all day today, and then I was like, fuck it, I'm going to hit some low hanging fruit. And I sprayed that because I was like, let the whole house be done and let me fall and die on that fucking peak there. I go, wow, he fell and died. No, I think he died from the bee stings.
Was he allergic? No, he just didn't have any will to live.
No, it had enough.
Yeah.
Was it murder hornets? Nope, just a regular bee.
You can turn.
Decided to stop living.
Is it murder heroin? It's not murder heroin either, but you can make it kill you if you do it right.
Right.
Even a honeybee can be a murder hornet if you play your cards right.
That's right. Yep.
I've always thought, because I get pulled. Well, I don't get pulled over as much anymore because I'm done with it. Fucking done with them. But
on your time
is to just like fucking. If you're getting pulled over, it's just fucking like that. Like pinch yourself really hard. And then fucking weave around and then get out of the car and go, I'm getting stung by bees. Is fucking, I don't know. I haven't had a chance to try it, but I would like to. There's fucking hornets in my car, man. Now they'll let you go because they go, you're a white guy. Let's go. We got some bigger fish to shoot.
I've got coronavirus hornets. Yeah. Get out of here. Hurry.
I can't even get a Coquille cop to frame me these days. They're so busy with Antifa. McCracken.
Yep. Well, Phil.
I feel like I might have told you guys the story before about whenever we were coming back from the river and we were all racing and we were in high school and my buddy got pulled over. And I had my other friend pull over behind the cops, and I went and I told him that we witnessed somebody go off the cliff a couple miles back. Yeah. That was a ballsy fucking move, but it worked.
Man. Yeah. That's cool. That's like some Trailer Park Boys shit, Yeah. That's like some shit Ricky would pull that always seems to work somehow.
Yeah.
Cops are stupid. They'll fucking fall for it. Let me just talk to them.
Remember back before society canceled cops? They, whenever you'd watch an episode, somebody would maybe misrepresent the facts to a police officer, and they would get all like butt hurt, like you don't lie, you don't lie to the police. Well, the first 5 or 10 things they actually present to you are bullshit, and then they want you to respect them by telling the truth. It's like you start out honest, and I'll start out honest.
Cops can lie to you. They can lie to you in interrogation.
Yeah, I like in documentaries where they specifically point that out in documentaries, Erickson, where they're like, it's not illegal for the cops to lie to people. We have your DNA, so you might as well admit it. All right, if you have my DNA, I guess I did it. All right, guilty. Fuck him, yoke him up.
Yeah, way to go, dumbass. We don't have your DNA, you stupid idiot.
Yeah.
I'm watching that Charlie Manson thing on Epic. I'm at episode 2, and it goes back. It's kind of a bummer because they have such good footage of the Manson family, and then episode 2 is a throwback to Charlie's childhood, which is interesting. But there's not, there's just interviews with a few town folk and stuff. And apparently,
I would imagine a lot of family pictures.
Well, not a lot, but it was interesting. His mom and dad, his mom went to prison for ag assault. It involved, I dozed off, but I think the mom and dad had to fend for themselves, robbing
bit
something.
Of a troubled home.
I think the legal document said strong arm robbery, but then Charlie went to go live near the prison with an uncle who was a bit of a taskmaster, and he would drag Charlie up to the prison, and Charlie never really enjoyed his visits there, and the uncle would and then they said this was actually true, because Charlie was a bit of a liar. I don't know if you know that, but Charlie tended to bend the facts a little. But this was true, as Charlie was pissed off his uncle and being a baby about how the teacher was the lady who was interviewed said it was a really cruel teacher, and the teacher was cruel, and Charlie went home and cried about what happened at school, and then his uncle made him wear a dress to school the next day.
Oh my God.
Yikes.
So there's
that's
probably it takes a village to raise a Charlie Manson.
or you just take parenting tips from like a Boy Named Sue songs like that. Like, I know how to fix this fella.
It'll toughen him up.
Yeah. How could this go wrong?
It just turned him into a liberal. He was a bit of a snowflake, but it's pretty interesting, especially the first one where there's just a lot of home movies and shit. I think Charlie's family's finally ready to roll out the old videos, and most of them were just fucking didn't do anything, didn't end up in prison. It was just a small group, but it was he had a pretty successful. Yeah, I think Mishka could get the same kind of thing going.
What?
In Phoenix?
Mishka, he could get up in the desert and take, no shirt and play sad songs for misguided young hippies.
Yeah, 18-year-old hippie girls.
Give them some philosophy.
Right off the bus.
Hell, man, I wrote a book about it.
Yeah, you just got to keep on running.
Yep. But it's pretty good. It's on Epic channel. Epics, whatever the fuck it is.
I think, they do a lot of documentaries on Epic, I think.
Yeah.
I think that's what they rolled out Epic as, was the documentary channel.
Yeah, and I enjoy Charlie. I don't, I probably wouldn't have wanted to hang out with Charlie, but I enjoy his whole story and his fucking...
Yeah, I think you and Charlie would butt heads, you know what I mean? I think Charlie would see an Andy Andrist on the scene and is like, someone who's taken a bit too much of the spotlight. Yeah. Like we already have one of those.
Two wounded beta wolves. Easily hurt, Oh man, nobody bought my records. Oh, and they also play a lot of Charlie's music too, which I like, because he's not much better than the Tiger King. And it gets right down to it, and but Charlie was doing his own singing, which I respect more than what Tiger King had to pay.
Lip thinking.
Yeah, come on, man. Charlie, you can hear it. The lyrics aren't all that great, but you can hear the sincerity in his voice.
Did he sell a song to the Beach Boys?
He tried. Well, they come out for he had some heat.
He sold a song. He's got writing credit on a Beach Boys song.
Credit, yeah.
And that was part of the reason why he was so pissed off, was that he kind of like he got a sniff of the business and acceptability and kind of making it on some level, and then it all went away.
Yeah, and then couple of hippie chicks picked up Dennis of the group,
Wilson?
and then Dennis Wilson, and he hung out, and then he let him live there in his place, and then I guess you have a roommate like Charles Manson or a Jehovah's Witness, eventually things kind of get to a point where they're a bummer. And instead of dealing with it, Dennis Wilson just fucking moved. He just had people move all his shit and emptied the house.
Oh, he just bolted?
Yeah, he fucking moved out. And then Charlie eventually got, told to leave or whatever, but he just didn't want to deal with him. And Charlie was intense or whatever. And then that was basically, it's like when, it's like if you're working with Stanhope and all of a sudden he starts working with Shawcroft. Whoa, wait, I had those gigs. Now Shawcroft has them. So I was Charlie Manson. I was out there going, motherfucker, where did Dennis Wilson go? I'm out here.
I think that I love Lynn Shawcroft, but if somebody makes the decision to take Lynn Shawcroft on the road with them over you, then you have got some serious reflecting to do. You have to look in the mirror. Shayla, you missed that. Andy just compared Charles Manson, Dennis Wilson moving out of his house to avoid confrontation with Charles Manson, as it's like when Stanhope drops you on the road and starts taking Lynn Shawcroft out instead. And I was like, if anyone ever, I love Lynn, but if you take Lynn Shawcroft on the road instead of you, then you have some serious fucking.
That's what I mean. That's why I was that's why I was wigging out, going, where does Sharon Tate live, man? I'm not putting up with this shit. I don't know how to book myself.
Did that really happen? Did you get dropped?
Yeah, well, that was after the Man Show. I was doing a lot of gigs with Doug, and then and then when Mitch passed, and then Doug had Shawcroft on the road. And it was like, I didn't know how to ask for gigs or book gigs or anything. And I was like, this is nice and easy. I'll just be, open for Doug all the time. And then that was the beginning. That was the beginning of a transition period where I had to cultivate my own cult or whatever. But I'm not that charismatic when it comes to talking to young hippies.
Hey, so I looked up on Wikipedia the song that Charles Manson he penned was a song called "Cease to Exist," but Beach Boys, it was on a B-side, and they changed it, but it was basically that song, and the song was "Bluebirds Over the Mountain," which is so weird. A song that was originally written by Charles Manson called "Cease to Exist" was retooled into "Bluebirds Over the Mountain."
You know what I'm hearing when I hear this nihilistic point of view? Picturing bluebirds chirping, singing, happy. We can do this.
Mountain thing.
Yeah. Maybe that was it. Maybe Dennis Wilson brought it in. He's like, listen, this fucking nut is living in my house. I can't get rid of him. I think he's going to murder everybody. Yeah. Like, maybe if we just do one of his songs, that'll fucking appease him.
So he went
of Dennis Wilson.
He went from ripping off Zippity Doodah to wanting to start a race war. It's like the difference of life, like one fucking teeter versus a totter. It's like, man, if that song would have just been cooler, and the Beach Boys could have, if the Beach Boys would have put it on the A side, like Charles Manson wouldn't have ever come up with any of that other shit. He would have been a fucking little ego head, fucking putting out some bad fucking pop albums.
The A side was "Never Learn Not to Love."
Wow, I don't remember that one either.
Yeah,
that's that probably was a double grind on poor Chuck.
Yeah, they're fucking him over.
And then then you go like, maybe it wasn't his fault at all. Maybe he just got some really bad acid.
Well, there's the conspiracy hole that you can go down that says it was all Tex Winter, and not Tex Winter. He's the basketball coach. Tex, I don't think it was Tex Winter. He did the triangle offense in which you murder the forward and the wing guard. And then you can just drive right to the basket because everyone's dead because you murdered them. Tex
Winter also slayed.
Yeah. I'm watching Last Dance
Dennis Rodman is the crossover in both of them. So I'm sure somehow he ran the triangle offense and probably has dated one of the men.
He's in Hoosiers.
No, that was Ernie Hudson, you racist piece of shit.
Wait, he was on Designing Women?
Bosom buddies?
Where did Dennis Hopper go? Where did he go?
Chad, I noticed earlier when right when Andy started ramping up there, did fire fly out of your pipe?
It did, like a fucking firework. I had to put out 2 fires on my floor, Shaylee. I don't know what happened.
You handled it very well. You're a hero, sir.
It is the fire
I'm
season.
used to
Be careful.
Yeah.
I underestimated the amount. You think a taller beer would be like 2 beers, but it's really just 1 tall beer.
Yeah. You just made yourself the 1 beer.
I have a secret bartender. Now we might have some music again tonight.
Oh,
nice.
Heads up.
Heads up this time.
Jimmy's back in town. I saw he was coming back to town.
He's in Oregon.
Yeah,
you can talk to him in the later hour.
Yeah, right on.
Hammered. He's such a drunk. He was like, he sent a thing, and it was like, because I talked about how he drank 5 beers, and it's like, yeah, but he's an alcoholic. It's
That's
cool,
a drunk to you? Drinking 5 beers?
I drank.
If I remember.
No, I was just saying, I didn't even know I brought it up. It was just, it's like you run out of shit to say and you go, well, this guy ate 2 chocolate bars. It seems like a lot. And that guy's like, man, I can only eat 2 chocolate bars in a month. Now everybody thinks I'm a dick.
Yeah. I was going through something that day, and then I was nervous. I didn't know what to do with the other one, and so I just ate it in front of you.
It was about to expire.
I don't do that normally. Yeah.
I have all my snacks in my apartment that I might have to rent out pretty soon. But I got them big chocolate bars and big Hershey bars. And last night I weighed myself and I was like, fuck, man, I thought I'd be about close. I'm a little above my target. Not with Mitch McConnell. I'm right dead center on that. But weight wise. And then what did I do? I went in and ate a Hershey bar with peanut butter and then went right to bed. Didn't brush my teeth, nothing. I don't care.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Like, if I'm going to, I'll die of my target weight if I get COVID. Yeah. You lose like 10, 20 pounds.
You need to change your target weight.
Yeah. No, you need to bulk up. You need to bulk up. That's exactly right.
And you need to live like it's your last day, Andy. That's what they say all the time. I've been doing that. I'm fat as fuck now. I just can't. I can't wait for the last day to hurry up and get here. Well, I've been eating chocolate with peanut butter every day like a goddamn glutton for years, and I can't die. I just won't die.
Yeah. If I get up on that ladder with chocolate and peanut butter.
Wait, you're going to climb a chocolate peanut butter ladder? Is that what I just heard?
He's setting up the old Reese's peanut butter commercial, but he's going to do the whole thing himself. He's like, oh, look, I got chocolate in my peanut butter.
It turns out
I thought it was a
head, and now I'm in a coma.
I thought it was a metaphor for the song "Big Rock Candy Mountain," which is the most upbeat suicide song I've ever listened to.
Love that song.
Listen to the words of that. That song's about suicide, and it's beautiful.
Yeah,
it is.
Yeah, if I think if the and I'm flattered just to be mentioned in the celebrity death pool, but I think if they had a camera on me on that, if they could just see what the ladder looks like, and I'm gonna get up there, it's just gonna take the right wind and the right fucking right amount of edibles, and I'm gonna climb up there and spend about 3 minutes spraying up there. Maybe I'll live, maybe I won't, who knows? It is what it is.
That's right.
It is what it is.
It is what it is.
Well, wear lots of like winter jackets and clothes so that you're like kind of cushioned a little bit, so that when the hornets attack and you whoa off the ladder and you fall down onto you'll have a little bit of a bounce when you land, because you don't want to hit so hard that your ribs all crack.
It's probably good. Well, if I fall, it'd be like a fucking big one. It's like two and a half stories.
Yeah,
but if I since I recently got stung 3 times, I'm kind of it's like you can panic the first time, but I'm like it's like I could climb down a ladder. I think being stung by a wasp around the head.
I like picturing. I like picturing Andy Andrus death pictures. And Andy's wearing 9 sweaters, and nobody knows why.
It's like the little kid in Christmas Story.
We think he jumped off the roof, but he's wearing 9 sweaters.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll hire out for that last piece.
Yeah.
Here, hold the ladder. Good luck, man. Are you a Vietnam vet? I got a shirt for you. What's that behind you?
That's a Big Rock. It's listed as Big Rock Candy Mountain. I think it looks beautiful.
I don't think that is. I don't think that can possibly be true.
Well, no, there's like 10 different mountains called Big Rock Candy. I mean, I think that when the "Oh Brother, Where Art Thou" came out, that song had a bit of a spike, and I think a lot of people changed their tourist information to include Big Rock Candy Mountain.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep. See it here first, folks.
I wish I had a rock.
It's over there. Yeah, it's over there. That's the one over there.
That's what I'm trying to start here is a big rock candy tree. Come here, leave your money and hang yourself over the tarp.
Like a Japanese suicide forest with donation box.
Yeah. And then it's just the one tree. It's not so much a forest. We just got the one. But, you know, I mean, there are other trees around.
Well, that guy's almost done, sir. Please stand 6 feet back.
We need you
He'll be behind the line in just a minute.
Social distancing. Social distancing in line for suicide.
Social distancing at the gallows. They've got the gallows set up, and they've got to go every other noose.
There's masking tape all down the strip where they're lining up for the gallows.
It's like those people that were reading the book, you know. I was like, you know, if I want to kill myself, and then there'll be like 4 people in front of me, and like, God damn it, just gonna go to someplace else then.
Yeah. So you only got a few minutes to use the ATM. It's like there's a fucking line. Fuck it. I'm not even going. Fuck it. I'm staying home.
That's what I've always used. Is it's not racism at all. It's I hate the person who's doing exactly what I'm doing when I'm doing it, regardless of color, race, religion, anything. If I'm going to an ATM and somebody pulls in right in front of me, that fucking person should die. Fuck you, you piece of shit. But it does, you know. Yeah. But some people are like, oh, it's typical Asian bullshit, or it's a black guy or whatever. I've always thought fucking people are just equally fucking annoying, no matter what they bring.
You have to just fucking take a deep breath and relax. I had to go to the bank today, and the one branch of my bank was closed. And I didn't know why, so I had to go to another branch, and I get there, and there's a really long line
on a Wednesday.
On a Wednesday,
yeah.
And there's a really long line outside of the building, socially distanced. So there's probably 10 people in this line outside. And as I'm walking across the bank parking lot, I realize the end of the line is like where the sidewalk kind of ends for the bank. So it's kind of like the parking lot's there and the sidewalk's there, and the line is right at the spot where the line could go either onto the sidewalk or into the parking lot. So like I had to make a decision on which way I was going, because there was a half wall. So I would be on one side or the other. And as soon as I went onto the fucking sidewalk, another guy walked up from coming like up the line, right? So he was definitely there before me, but he went into the parking lot. So now the line is starting to spread out and go longer in the parking lot. Now I got to loop around the whole thing, and like 3 more people got into line before it happened. And I was just like, you know what? That's how it works. It's just how it works. You have to
fucking line etiquette in this country is fucking bad, man. There's a bad problem with line etiquette.
Yeah,
in cars, people don't zipper when you're supposed to zipper. I go to get my wife coffee at the Fry's once in a while, and I try to do it every single time, but they like when you walk in the Fry's, and then directly in front of you about 50 yards in is Starbucks. And then they just make the line come back directly towards the door. So you just have a giant fucking conflagration of bullshit people all over. Yeah. And
so
I always try to
poorly set up.
I always swing the line to wrap around the Starbucks, which is in the middle of the Fry's. Just wrap the line around. So I'll go in there and I'll stand way over. And if somebody stands over in the line, I'll yell at them. And I'll be like, the line is over here. We're wrapping it around. Like I take charge of the.
That feels good,
rarely ever there, and I take charge of that shit every time.
That makes sense, though. That makes you feel good because other people recognize the logic of what you're doing. So other people will support you, even if it's silently. They're like, yeah, he's right. That's how we're doing it.
It reminds me of being on the road, and Doug, like, what are you doing, Shane? I go, I'm getting more tables. There's not enough fucking tables in here. It's like, what do you have to? No, I'm not asking anyone. I'm fucking doing it. You fucking. This is our fucking. Yeah. I'm not gonna wait in line and fucking stand there while people are pushing by me with a shopping cart waiting for a stupid fucking mocha frappuccino latte. I'm gonna fucking I'm going to do what the manager from this fucking stupid Starbucks should do, is watch what I'm doing, taking charge. For free, I'm giving them a fucking lesson on how to queue up a motherfucking line.
Man, just imagine, like, when Shaylee shows up to like someplace like that, like a Starbucks or something, that's like having a restaurant and the New York Times food critic is coming in. They're like, oh shit, Shaylee's coming in. Yeah. Everybody fucking on your game. Everybody point.
Shaylee's like an efficiency expert. Yeah.
I couldn't be the secret shopper. The disgust on my face would be too evident right when I walked in the door. I was like, he's here. Tell the manager he's here.
And then send in John Taffer Stanhope to come in. Oh, you said this was 1% milk? Here comes Doug. Morning, Doug.
The first time I went into that Fry's to see, after the pandemic started, to get Jenny coffee, and I saw that they had put the fucking lines coming back towards the door, and I'm like, no, put them around the fucking side. It was very frustrating to me. I don't fit in this.
It's a flow issue, man, and you're not a guy. You're not a letter writer guy, Chad. But anytime you see a Starbucks that's like in Safeway or Fry's or something like that, that's a franchise. That's not really they own that. Starbucks just has those are Fry's. Those aren't Starbucks employees. So a letter to Starbucks would tip them off into the inefficiencies. I don't know if you'd get any satisfaction of that, but
I
Shaylee out here affecting change.
People are dying, man. People are dying.
We used to have a guy. We lived down a dirt road. Yeah, I want the
176 pounds.
It's relevant. It's relevant for the spacing part. Really, it really is. You're bottlenecking shit. Yeah. Same thing. Oh, I had to go to Walmart. I had to go to Walmart with Jenny the other day. We went fishing and we stopped by there. She goes, you have to park up at the front. Don't go over at the backside where the fishing stuff is, because that's all closed off. I go, what? Yeah, they've bottlenecked the entrance and exit to one. They have 5 fucking entrances and exits at Walmart. And they've bottlenecked it to one. I go, that's genius. Yeah, genius pandemic fucking response, Walmart.
It might be because they can't get enough people to work. Maybe not at Walmart, but that was what was happening at the bank. Because I asked them when I was there, and they're like, we can't get enough people to work. So they had to close one of the banks. And then the other bank, there's this line because they had only 2 of the 8 windows had tellers. Yeah. It's like, well, this is not, I mean, now I'm inside and I'm in line for another 20 minutes inside with a bunch of people. Most of them, people are sitting on the couches waiting to meet with bank loan officers whose masks aren't on, over their nose or anything. Like, this is silly. If it's happening inside, it's happening in here right now, But they only have two of the 8 tellers. And then when I asked her about it, and I did just ask her, I wasn't complaining, but she's like, we can't get enough people. So this is.
Well, the Walmart had plenty of people available. The lines were just jam-packed. This one exit. I was smart. I just checked out over where you buy fucking guns and ammo and fishing shit. There's a dude stalking.
They have a register there.
Can I check out here? He's like, yeah. And I checked right out, right in the fucking side. I was like,
I didn't want to bring this up because I was at a Walmart a couple of days ago. It was not on my own thing. I had a list, another bunch of fucking needle in a haystack fucking items. And I went at 7 a.m. I was at Walmart when they opened, and I needed a needle threader, a pan scraper,
scraper,
a notebook,
like a plastic spoon.
Pan scraper. Yeah, like a
spatula.
Yeah, like a spatula. So like hard, but like items you could find at 7 a.m. And I went there and then I couldn't find it, and then I asked the first employee, Amanda, a little kind of hot 40, 50-year-old tweaker burnout.
Why is this part of it?
Because that's how you judge people, Shay.
Look, I mean, I didn't really pay attention to her, but we're in a quarantine and a pandemic or whatever.
Hot with
know?
a mask on, Shaylee.
Yeah.
That's fucking distinction.
But I didn't even, so I go, I can't find these fucking pan scrapers. And she was like, well, shit, she's swearing under her mask. So then we went and we stared at the area where I was just staring. There ain't no pan scrapers in there. And she didn't really know what a pan scraper was.
A pan scraper, but you and Amanda.
Anyway,
you're looking for something as a name.
She talked to 2 or 3 other employees. They couldn't figure out where they'd be. And I go, my guess is maybe they're over with the dishwashing soap. And she goes, well, I'm curious.
I'll go about a spatula at all. He's talking about something cleaning.
She goes, we're way over here. And then she goes,
look, SOS pad.
I'll walk over there with you. So that's when I was like, oh, she's kind of taking a shine to me. So we all the way, over there. And so we get to talking and shit. And then she goes, well, she brings up, she goes, oh, boy, I can't wait to be off. I'm off and I go, well, you're almost done. And she says, yeah, I'll be off in an hour. And I go, really? So, and then I go, what'd you do? Start at whatever? And she goes, no, they only give us 5 hours of them. So they're all getting 5 hours so they don't have to pay health insurance or anything. Yeah. So they got way more employees than they need. They're all just dullards walking around there. And she was all okay with wandering around with me for the duration of the time. I said, I feel like I got a Walmart personal valet. And she goes, fuck this company and stuff like that. But I think she was kind of hoping I'd offer to buy her a drink or bring her a pan scraper or something. But,
maybe take her over to that McDonald's for a sausage McMuffin.
Well, the hookers can't work back page anymore. Maybe this is their ploy.
Yeah. Honestly, get in at Walmart. The last 2 employees I've had to deal with were at the same store, and I'm going to go out on a limb here and say I dealt with the lightest and the heaviest employees.
I like that Andy showed up at Walmart with a list that said pan scraper, and he thinks this chick thinks he's single.
Yeah.
I don't think she cared if I was single or not. I think she wanted to Why would she follow? Why would she go from one end of the store to the other and back again? And then I go, so I think I can handle the notebook. And she followed me to the notebooks.
It's like, I'm not she's burning fucking time she's getting paid for that shit.
Yeah, 5 hours to kill every day, man.
She had some sort of scoliosis.
Why do strippers pretend to talk to you?
Well, they're making even more money. I think that
conditions do affect hot. I noticed.
I just think that if I worked at Walmart and I saw Andy come in at 7:00 in the morning, I would look to hang out with him too. I would be like, all right, what do you need, bro? Let's go fucking find it. Like, that seems like an interesting 10 minutes or 15 minutes. That'll liven things up a little bit. You're not threatening looking, but you are a bundle of energy.
But yeah, that's how I found out. I was like, what you get? I go, how's your pandemic treating you? And then she started in on the company.
Pandemic chatter.
Yeah.
A little small talk.
That's what I do mostly. When I have to talk to people, I go, how's it? And they go, how's your day going? And I go, pretty good. How's the pandemic treating you? Like, let's bring this down. Like,
hey,
what are you up to today? Well, I'm avoiding people. Trying to find things about myself I don't hate, and doing as limited amount of drugs as I can for the money.
That's always been your thing. So it's not like
I know
that much.
I know. So I've always wanted to be more successful so I could do more drugs and kill myself faster. I've never had a budget for the appetite of drugs I have.
We know.
But you're inventive.
Yeah.
Adaptable.
Yeah. Andy, did you get the pan scraper?
I did. Not there, though.
Does it look like this?
Yeah, kind of. Mine's red.
So it's a Teflon spatula.
I could have got 2. I had to go to another store, and I could have gotten 2 because she didn't know what they were. You know how you talk to some chicks that are just dumb.
The ones that are trying to hit on you?
I don't know, but ignorant, you try to explain it, and then it's kind of
knew what the fuck a pan scraper was, and now they're dumb.
A lot of people at Walmart didn't understand it either.
Yeah, that's because it's not a thing, Andy. That's fucking
she asked the big lady, and I think the big lady thought it was a hound dog or something. Yeah, we just put the hound dogs down on the pan. No, this is like something you don't lick, you scrape.
We put the hound dogs.
Lost complete control of what's happening.
And then I got a fucking threader with thread, and that was like, there's only one. That's all, And so I had to go to a fabric. I didn't have to. I went to a fabric store today.
Joanne's.
Yeah, I don't mind going to places and anything that keeps me off of that ladder and painting, and I'm doing stuff. I'm like, sorting through a fabric store, manly kind of fucking hunting and gathering shit.
Yep.
Where are these needle threaders? And then, the fucking line's too long at a fabric store, and you're just getting something that can easily be put in your pocket.
I was waiting for that, Ed. I was waiting for you to say that you just put the needle thread.
Why are you in a hurry? There's nothing else to do. You're trying to avoid the ladder. You should be standing.
It's the principle,
I wanted to
Eric.
get to Cafe Yum and order my lunch before the lunch crowd got there. And it was only it was a $3 item. I was like, the economy. That's the $3. Sorry, I was channeling the president for a second. It's $3. It's a big deal. You took it, yeah. I don't.
All right.
This
time we went and made a drink.
Eric's, to go back to what you said, Erickson, and it will help segue out of here. I watched the Unbookables, and the only reason why I enjoyed that is because I enjoy hanging out with Andy, and I always want to hang out more with Andy. And watching the Unbookables makes you feel like you're hanging out with Andy, and so does the Patreon podcast. It lets you hang out more with Andy, even than you already have.
That's beautiful. Here I thought he mentioned my name at the beginning of that because he was going to compliment me on my role in the Unbookables, but it turned out to be just another compliment for Andy, whose Venmo is right there on the screen. You can find find him on Venmo right there at Andy-Andrist. There's his P.O. box. And we're going to go over to Patreon. I would give Chad a plug, but I'm not going to give Chad a plug. Fuck that guy live streaming. Fuck. Like I saw on the internet today. They're like internet panhandlers.
That's it.
That was funny, dude. When you reposted that, I thought that was pretty funny. You kind of are. But at least you're doing something, but it's fun. We're all internet panhandlers, all of us.
I told them the other day when I was streaming and I got real drunk, and I said, I wish I didn't care so much about $700 a month. I'd never have to talk to any of you motherfuckers again.
I saw somebody got some trouble, and they identified him as a YouTube personality, and then I was like, man, now they're coming for us. That's what we are. It's okay. They put kids in cages and old people are dying in nursing homes, but now they're coming after YouTube personalities.
Listen, if they ever try to come after us, it's definitely as Stanhope coattail riders. So we don't have to worry. We can deflect it onto Stanhope the whole time.
I think Andy's right. I think we have to publicly acknowledge that we stand with Jake Paul, YouTuber who is being hassled by the man right now. That's what Andy's talking about.
Wait,
this guy's out there.
Complete douchebag. I would fucking
He's a
fight
YouTuber,
that guy.
and they're coming after him, and they're coming hard, and it's unfair. And as fellow YouTubers, we are united with you, Jake Paul. We are united.
I'm not. I want the next YouTube video to be me and Jake Paul fighting each other. I challenge Jake Paul to a fucking fist fight.
I don't care about Jake Paul, but I really wish they'd quit interrupting when I'm high on a ladder, getting ready to spray the tip and upset the hornets. I would like to hear my music and not an ad. I don't want to climb down the ladder going, you fucking cunts, you corporate cunt sacks. Why do you do this? I'll get your fucking extra fucking thing when I get around to it. But let me hear a song that I started.
All right. Somebody gift Andy a YouTube premium subscription.
Yeah, he needs a premium. That's all you need, bro. We'll set you
I
up.
might have Asperger's.
Commercial free.
I might have Asperger's. Things are really annoying me lately. I can't control myself.
You absolutely might. All right. We love you guys. Right. Thank you for being here again. If you're still here, then that means you're a special person, and we love you for that. We're going to go over. Yeah, see? And there, perfect. We're going to go do that on Patreon. And it's not. It's $5 a month. It's nothing. If you want to join us there, we'd love to have you. If not, that's fine too. We still love you because we also look at us. We have nothing better to do, so we'll just keep doing this. So I'm glad you're there. We'll see you next time.
$5, cheap bastards. Later.